Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good night. Welcome to a new little podcast. Going to be trying this out and see how it works out. Let me bring in my old sidekick, Mr. Ryan,
Hey,
with us in the house. How you doing, Ryan?
doing good, Dave. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Um, also, if anybody's looking at Ryan going, "Hey, I know that guy from somewhere," you might know him from this spot right here.
Or a wanted poster.
So Ryan does the Making It Up As We Go podcast live every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. Pacific, depending on where you live. So tell us a little bit about what you do on that one, Ryan.
Well, me and the boys, we mainly talk about what we're working on, and also the latest and greatest of the YouTube videos that are out there on CNCs, lasers, and 3D printing. So a little bit of news and a lot of making fun of me.
Yeah, quite a bit of that, as I recall.
It's pretty easy.
But,
It's pretty easy to do. So yeah.
okay. Well, I know that's where I'm spending my Saturday nights. I'm usually in my recliner. Got you on the big screen and checking you out. So, although I'm going to fess up, Ryan, I didn't get to catch all of it live last Saturday because the Alabama game was on.
That's
So,
okay.
you know, but yeah, I did catch it that next morning. So anyway, thanks for being with me tonight. We got a few folks out there. We got Charlie who's in the house. How you doing, Charlie? Marcelo's here. How you doing, Marcelo? Looky here. We got the big boys in the house. Lima Labs, how you doing? All right. Let me first, before I get started rambling about stuff, since this is a brand new podcast, I want to talk a little bit about what you might expect as you watch this podcast. I plan on doing, as you can see, right back here, and I've got another camera back here that I've been experimenting with some camera mounts and stuff, which I've actually got inside the enclosure, but I'm probably gonna have to get some faux pros or something to put in, because when you put a webcam in that close, you don't really get to see enough. I'm not happy with that. So for right now, I've just got the webcam mounted on this tripod, and I can just pick it up and move it around wherever I want. But anyway, so the idea here is I built this enclosure, which really isn't nothing fancy. It's just kind of a bunch of plywood panels hanging on. In fact, I can even show you here. They're just hanging on some 2020 aluminum extrusion that makes up the frame. So nothing fancy at all. The top's just laying on there. All the panels all the way around have handles so that I can remove them for cleaning, or if I need to get to something in the back. And that's all that holds them up. It just has these little, I guess you can see that maybe. Got some clips that I 3D printed, and just kind of slides in here and then rests on the table there. So nothing fancy. But I've got the NBX 5040 on this side. I've got the MBS 6040 on that side. So it makes it really nice, because what I want to do with this podcast is be able to, it's called the CNC Q A Podcast for a reason. I want to be able to answer questions for people that are either beginner CNC people, or maybe they don't even have a CNC yet. Maybe they're just thinking about getting one, want to get some questions answered before they take the plunge. So that's kind of what this whole thing is about. what I will do probably on most nights is I'll have a project planned. It may be a rotary axis project, and that's the other nice thing about having the two machines is I can load up the rotary on one and have the other machine free. So if depending on the questions, if somebody asks a question and I need to show it on this, or if they have a question about rotary, I could show it on the other one. But yeah, I just want to be able to answer questions for new folks, and like I said, CNC and rotary. Do live demonstrations. We might even get into the software a little bit. I'm an old Vectric SpeedCarve Pro user. If there's somebody else out there that uses, I don't know, Easel or what's the other one, Carveco?
Yeah, there's Carco Maker. There's
And you want to come on the
all
show
kinds
to
of-
help out fellow CNC people, send me an email and let me know. So, oh, I see. Yeah, that hadn't changed, has it, Ryan? It's still
no, it's
yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's okay.
so Dave. So from everything that I've seen from your videos and all that you've put out on these Nemo Lab machines, they're pretty impressive. Can you talk a little bit about what they're like, what your experience has been with them so far?
Yeah, I will. And I'm going to try my best not to sound like a fanboy, but I got to tell you,
but talk about some of the other CNCs that you have and have had in the past to give context of.
well, the best way for people to see what I've had is if they dig way back into my YouTube channel, but you'd have to go way, way, way back because I've been doing this a long, long time. But I had a machine, I called it the Sidewinder. It was a metal machine that I designed. I was working back in my younger days, I was working full time at a sheet metal shop. So I just designed my own and sold a few of those. I still have the one that I've made for myself. It's around back in my shop. It still works well. In fact, there's still lots of videos out there on that one. Then, of course, I did the Garage Work CNC for a while. That was another machine made from metal that I designed and built and sold several of those. Then the Gatton CNC came along, which was another plywood DIY kit. That's probably what I'm best known for, is the Gatton CNC. And also being a YouTuber, I've had the opportunity to unbox and review a lot of different little CNCs. The ones that come to mind is the SainSmart 440 Pro. I did a couple of videos on that. I think I even did a video with their rotary thing with that. I've got a SainSmart 4040 Reno sitting over there. Right over here, I've got a 3020 Pro Max, 3018 over there. And of course, I have my big one that Ryan affectionately calls my $10,000 assembly table, but it's my Avid CNC, my Pro 4848, which is a very nice machine, but I don't use it that much because I'm usually not doing big stuff. So consequently, it usually ends up with stuff on it, and I won't turn the camera over there now, but it's got stuff on the bed right now because of stuff that I was using to build this enclosure. But so that's the Reader's Digest version of my CNC stuff. And then when the folks from Nemo Lab sent me this NBX 5040, I got to tell you, I thought, holy cow, this is it's a great little machine. And I'm gonna tell you a few things why I like it. And again, I'll try not to sound too much like a fanboy, but one of the things that first impressed me is it's so solid when you put it together. Everything is made to, square itself up, and it's so solid. Right off the bat, you notice that you've got NEMA 23 steppers instead of those little dinky NEMA 17s, which is on just about all the other machines I have except for my Avid. And what's really nice is they give you this is their own knockoff, I guess, of like a Makita, but it's like a router spindle. It's got an ER11 collet. Unfortunately, they don't give you a 1/4-inch collet, which hopefully in the future they will start doing that. But you get a 1/8-inch collet, you get a pack of starter bits, and I already had some 1/4-inch collets from other machines. So if you look right here, I don't know if I can do. Let's see if I can do this. If you look close, you might be able to tell that that's that 3/8 B Groove Jenny or whatever it's called. Ryan, you know the right name, I think.
Groovy Jenny.
Groovy Jenny, yeah. So, it really makes it nice to be able to put a 1/4-inch bit in these machines because they can really handle it. I mean, I have tweaked my Gerbil settings. We might get into that one night on this podcast about that. But that's one thing that I really like about these machines is that for a small machine, they're not just the little dinky ones like we're used to seeing or like I'm used to doing reviews on. When I got this out and started running it, and of course, like all of these machines, the settings are real conservative. I just realized I'm dark in here. Let me see if I can put a little light on the subject here. I don't know if that thing's plugged in or not. Let's see if we can get this.
The camera's just color adjusting for the brightness of the CNC cabinet.
Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit of light. No, that's not coming on. Let's try it on one of these other ones. Well, nobody needs to see me anyway. Oh, there we go. I just realized I kept looking over here and I'm like, man, I'm like in the shadows here. Okay, so maybe that's a little better. Yeah, but anyway, that's kind of why I've got really excited about these machines is that, CNC has pretty much become kind of boring to me because, I've been doing this for a long time and had a whole bunch of different CNCs. And then when I got this one, I thought, wow, this is how these small CNCs should be, because other than having to get a 1/4-inch collet for it, an ER11 1/4-inch collet, it's pretty much ready to rock and roll right out of the box. I mean, you don't have to do anything. And again, like I was talking about the settings, like all the machines kind of this size, they come out with conservative settings, which are pretty good because you don't want somebody brand new to CNC, snapping bits and because it's going too fast. You want it to move a little slow at start till they get the hang of things. But once you get the hang of things, don't be afraid to get in there with those settings and tweak them up. And I did a video, I think last week or so, showing 3 things. 1 is to get that larger collet. 2 is to do the settings. And then 3 is to get yourself some good software. And when I say software, I'm talking about design software. And I don't care what you want to use, whether it's Vectric Pro or Aspire or Carveco or Easel or whatever it is. just whatever you decide to get, invest the time to learn and be able to do stuff, and you will get so much more out of your CNC, and you'll just enjoy going out to your shop and doing it. It gets old pretty quick if you don't, think you're not smart enough to learn how to work the software and you're just buying files all the time. That'll get old pretty quick. And when I see people post stuff online and they've done some fancy file and stuff, I'm really not that impressed, because I'm like, anybody can buy a file and then learn how to put a couple of tool paths on it and push the button. So you're not a full-fledged CNC guru person unless you know how to work the software, the design software, and the machine control software. So anyway, what I'm going to get started on talking about tonight is, well, one other thing while I'm talking about the NEMA Lab stuff. If there's anybody out there who is not familiar with NEMA Labs and wants to learn some more, here's what you need to do. You can go click on this thing right here with your phone, and that will take you to the NEMA Labs CNC user group. They're on Facebook. They've got a small but growing Facebook group over there. So be sure and if I did that right, that should take, I tested it and I think it worked. So go check out the NEMA Lab CNC user group and join, and then you can start learning more about these if you're interested. So let's see here. Okay. All right. So here's what I want to talk about tonight. You notice I have these little things here. Do y'all know what those are for? I'm gonna kind of demonstrate with this one. When I built this, another reason why I wanted to build it, because I know if you're doing live demonstrations, one, you've got more noise, although that wasn't the number one consideration for the enclosure, but it does make a big difference. But the other thing is, people want to see what it's doing, so I don't want to run dust collection. I like running and just letting stuff go everywhere, but I'd like to keep it contained. So that was really the number one reason why this whole thing exists. And like I said, it's not fancy. It's just a bunch of cheap plywood painted up white to look halfway decent, and then hung on that 2020 extrusion frame. But anyway, I made these, and one of the goals I didn't want the controller. You see, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. Again, it's not very. I don't have any. This is my dark side of the garage over here. But I've got a NEMA Labs control box right here for this machine. Then I've got the one for this machine here. And the way these control boxes are designed is they have a little angled front, and it allows you to put this. Let's see if I can. Maybe I can do this better. So it allows you to put this right on the control box, and that works great if you're using dust collection all the time. But like I said, I didn't want to. So what I did is I had my little laser cut these, and so I can pull these out. Once I get everything set up, and then I put this front panel back on, I can just set that right there and work with it right there. I do have to kind of reach under there to get the control box switched on, because the switch is in the back, but I'm okay with that. You don't have to do that once in a while. But as you can see here, let's see if I can. Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe I do it like that. You'll be able to see both things. So I'm going to hit the home button here. This machine's home to the front left. Okay, so I don't know how well this is showing up on the camera, but the way I made this box is I'm trying to get that same angle that you get when it's setting in the control box, so that at least somebody my height, which I'm short, but when you're looking at it, there's no glare. You can easily see this little screen. All right, so I'm going to hit this and go. I think I've got it. We'll see what happens.
I like that holder. That looks good.
Oh, well, maybe I don't have. I thought I already had a 0 set, but I guess I don't. Okay, so let's come over here. I'm just going to jog this out there in the old place for right now, because I got something a lot more exciting to show you. That's getting close to where it goes. All right, well, I'm just going to leave that right there. Now, also, one downside, or at least it's a downside for me, I think, is the little Gerbil offline controller here. It's hard to do the buttons because it's real small. It's only about 2-inch screen or so, 2.5 inches, whatever that is. So they do give you this little stylus, which works well, but then you always got to remember where you put this stylus. So that's kind of a pain. But here's what I want to show you. We're going to come over here. Let me just move that for right now. We'll go right here. All right, this is the NEMA Labs website. Okay. Now, if you come right over here to new arrivals, look what just come available yesterday. They now have a 7-inch touchscreen. It's got a lot more features. You can see right on this picture right here. In fact, let me see if I can, let's do it like this. You can see it actually has a little graph here, so it shows you the parts, and this will move as the machine is moving. You've got your feed override and your spindle override here. You've got your coordinates and stuff here. You can zero it out right there.
I like that.
A quick glance right here. G21 tells me that it's in metric. You've got and this is something I love, because I used to always love this feature in the old Mach 3 control software, is it tells you for whatever program this is, your Z minimum is 0.5 millimeters and your Z max is 5 millimeters. Same thing, you can tell it starts over here in the lower left. So the X max is 94. So at a glance, you can tell, for one, you can tell, oh, the origin is set here in the lower left, or if it's in the middle, you'll see it, it'll be right here. So that's really handy. Just a lot of cool things. You've got 5 buttons over here. Again, this one is showing the map feature, which shows that graph. If you come over here, you can see how it mounts into the box. Right here is where the small offline controller would set, the little one like this. And this one takes advantage of that angle, and it comes with a bracket that you can screw this right to here, and you get a really nice view, no glare or anything with that angle right there, sitting on top of that controller. And another cool feature about this little thing is it will work with Gerbil firmware that uses that CH340 chip. So, and just about all of them that I know of, I think there's a list on here somewhere, but a lot of the little Saint Smart machines, I'm pretty sure that 3020 Max and that Reno over there would work with this. Because I remember, you always have to load that CH30 or CH340 driver. So this thing is not just for a NEMA Labs machine, but would work with some of the others. All right, here's a view of some of the other displays. Here's that one with the graph again, or they call it toolpath preview. Here's the parameter settings. This would be this bottom one right here, where you can set your right here, you need to measure with calipers and get the exact measurement of your probe tool height. By default, it'll say 12, but it's always going to be a little different. So you need to put that in exact so that when you're setting your tool height, you get that correct. Processing this down here, this would be the file button. You can load the G code. When you click this generate toolpath and then come over and click map, that's when you'll see this where it plots it out there.
I wonder if it would work on my Raspberry Pi controller.
I don't know. It might. Start, pause, and stop are down here. Let's see. This one up here is
got custom macros. Nice.
This is it's got some custom macros. So this is the command screen right here. This one here is the MDI screen. So if you got your dollar down here in this window. So if you wanted to change your settings or look to see what a certain setting is, you would put that in right there. And then again, this one is showing the toolpath generation. So you would hit that button right there, generate toolpath graph, and then that's just showing the little window that pops up to do it. So really cool little screen.
Yeah, it's really nice.
This here you can see a better view of how that bracket, I guess you can see, you can see, should be able to see my little mouse hand right there.
Yeah.
That bracket screws right there. There's 4 holes. And that bracket comes up, and then it actually also tilts 45 degrees there. I think somewhere on here it tells you that this is not this casing on this thing. It's not injection molded plastic or something like that. It is machined aluminum.
Oh, wow. So
it has got some heft to it, and it's really, really solid. Okay. Also comes with it, you get, like I said, you get the controller, you get the bracket, you get the user manual. They provide 3 different cables, which is really handy. This cable is the USB-A to Type-C power cable. It's 1.5 meters long. So that's probably whatever 1.5 meters is. What is that, about 5 feet or so?
4.5, yeah.
And you would plug it into something like this. You're just like your little phone chargers, something that'll spit out 5 volts. And that's what's used to power it. Then over here, you've got 2 different cables. So if you're using this bracket up here and you decide to put it on the controller box, and that's the way you want to run it, with it setting right on, there's no reason to have a big long cable going from the side of that screen, just right below it to the box. So you can use this short 0.4 meter USB cable, and it just goes just like where you would plug if you were going to run it with, let's say, a laptop and run G-Sender or UGS or something like that. Plugs in the same way. And over here, if you're going to do like I want to do and have the screen somewhere else a little farther away, they include a cable that's 1.5 meters. So you can use whichever one you want. And I think that's pretty cool that they include both of those. And of course, you get your Allen key and wrench
They give you an SD card. That's nice.
Get a little SD card and all the hardware and stuff. So really, really a nice outfit. Now, so they're showing a guy holding it, and you can see here's a good comparison. It says 2.8-inch screen, which is what the other one is, the little one. And then this is they just did a really good job designing this. Kudos to the engineer that did this, and the way they laid out the buttons and did the pages and stuff. It's really, really sweet. There's some features on here that you can't get with just that little one up there. So
Yeah.
and I think Ryan, weren't you the one that commented on my very first video about the screen size? Wasn't that you?
Probably.
I can't remember. Somebody was saying, yeah, it's pretty cool, but I wish the screen was bigger.
Yeah.
Well, now it is. So
yeah, it's a really good addition. And I mean, with it being the aluminum casing on it, it's not just like a Amazon Fire tablet that they've adapted to it. It's a real deal.
Right.
So that's very cool.
Here you can see the side connection here. Like I said, the USB-A interface goes from here, and then the other end would plug in right here to where the USB, what is that, B, I think is what that shape is. I can't remember which one they are. I know that one's an A up there. And then this one is the Type C, which, like I said, would be the little power connection where you'd use your little charger, little phone charger, with that USB cable to give it to 5 volts to get the power up.
Very cool.
So wanted to show folks that because that's something that's been in the works, and
it fits on the control box really nice. That's really well done.
And as a matter of fact,
oh, somebody has one.
I have one.
Nice.
I think, I'm not positive if NEMA is still on there, they can confirm this, but I believe this is the only one that's out in the wild so far.
Oh.
But I thought what I would do is show you how this thing hooks up. I left this bracket on here just so I could show you, because it just goes on that box. But like I said, because I've chosen to put my control box underneath, I'm not going to be mounting this permanent. It'll be where it's can be moved around. And what I've done, I thought, okay, well, this worked out great for these little ones, but it's not near big enough. So I've actually made a bigger one today. I'm not sure this is going to work because I haven't slid it in there. I may have to do some tweaking, but I've done some cutouts on the side because you've got the wires that connect on the side stuff. But anyway, this one might be close, and the holes are the same, and it will still fit within this thing here. So
door. Yeah,
I'm probably going to have to either 3D print or laser cut some pieces and make something to hold it when I get ready to pull the panel off, because obviously you don't want to pull the panel off while it's sitting in these things. But
does it come off the bracket real easy?
Yeah, there's just a screw with I think a nylon type nut right in there. But I'm probably also going to take this little swivel thing off, because all I want is the flat panel.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's
cool.
Doing pretty good on time. Let me I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to unplug this ribbon cable that goes to this, because I won't need it. Now they set that right there. Okay, now I'm going to take, okay, this is what I'm going to be using for power. And I've got a little bit of an extension on it. So I'm going to take my little phone charger thing and put that, and I'm going to try to plug this in right here. And so that will be my 5 volts power. And you can see it lights up. It's already going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get the other. Let's see where I put it. Okay, so I'm going to take the longer cable.
Yes, everybody, please hit this like button for Dave. Show him love and affection. Or subscribe.
Now, let me tell you, this thing is, that's the first thing I noticed when I got it and took it out of the box. I thought, man, that thing's got some weight to it, but it's
because of the
aluminum right there. So, all right, so I'm going to put this back into the USB. Okay. Now, let me see if I can get all this situated so I can get the camera to where you can see.
Dan Goras was saying thanks for the dust boot to you and Nema Labs. Anybody
You're very
that
welcome.
Doesn't know that a while back Dave did a video and Nema Labs gave him a whole bunch of their dust boots to give away. And
yeah, I forget how many they gave away. It was a bunch of them.
It was like 80 of them or something like that. It was a lot.
Okay. Now, Ryan, you'll have to kind of help me out. Let me know if I'm getting where I'm out of the camera shot.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, hey, stupid, move back over or something.
I mean, I'll be nicer to you than that, but
okay. So, man, it's dark back here too. I have to hold it up here probably for you to even see it good. Let's see if we can.
There you go. That looks good.
Okay. I don't know how good you can make this stuff out here.
And that looks great.
But this is the command screen. So you've got some macros right there. Here you've got your spindle. Well, have I not got something plugged in? Oh, I never did turn the control box back on. That would help. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay. So again, just let me know if I'm not.
You're perfect right there.
Okay, so you got the spindle. You turn it on and off right there. This has got air. I'm assuming that's if you use the laser module, which I have that as well. That's one thing I haven't tried out with this yet. You've got PRB, which is the probe. So you would hit that to start the probe feature. Home. ULK is unlocked. So if for some reason you trip a limit switch or something, or just do something stupid and get it where it's in an alarm state, you hit that to unlock it. And then the RST is, I believe that's restart. If I reset. Okay. Thank you. All right. So we'll just hit the home button here.
That's a really nice screen. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's color. It's got a lot of different colors. So it's so much easier to read. And I thought the other one was pretty good for as small as it was. I really didn't. That's one thing I really liked about these machines is not only do they come with NEMA 23s and a decent spindle and, you can really do something with these things, but it also, you don't have to drag out the laptop and, hook wires up and all. And in my case, my laptop's so old, the battery's about shot. So you always have to hook the power brick up and all that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, it's just not ideal. And I really love being able to just run these things right off, you know, because I got a computer out here anyway that I'm using to stream.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, you know, you can just load the SD card over there. I've got my Vectric VCard Pro on this computer that I use to stream. And it's so nice just to be able to put it on the SD card, bring it over here, plug it in. This one has the, yeah, the SD card is on this side. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. And then, of course, like I said, there's your power, USB-C going right there, and then your USB-A to USB-B, I think it is. It goes down there to the control box.
So does it looks like at the top of the screen there, you have like spots for the G54 and all that stuff?
Yeah. It tells you. See, that's another thing I like is you can tell whether you're in metric or inches real quick because it'll say G21, which is the metric. So, and it does have the G54. So, for example, let's just come here and we'll just try this out. See if it works. All right, so I've zeroed out X, Y, and Z right there. I'm not really on the spot where I should be, but I'm right there. And now let's home it, bring it back to home, and then I'll hit the go to 0 and see if it goes back to where it was. Yeah, I might have this. Okay, so now let me hit right here. It says G0, X0, Y0. So let me hit that. Say yes. And boom, shakalaka. Here we go. The Z, G0, Z10. So if I hit that, it should go down to, yeah, if you can see that, it goes down to 10 millimeters above that. So, all right. So let me go to the file page and let's load a G code. I'll go to local storage and I've already got, those are not the ones I want. Well, I don't see the one I'm looking for here. I thought I've already put that on there. All right, let me pull this SD card out. I'll just set that right there for a sec. I thought I moved it over, but I may have not. Oh, maybe I don't have the right SD card in there. That might be what's happening. I put the wrong one in there. Okay, so let's see if I see it now. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. Had the wrong SD card in there. Okay, so I'm going to try to, I think I got a big enough piece of material that I'm going to, that looks pretty close. It's close enough for government work anyway. All right, so I'm going to 0 the X and the Y. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it because I did this program where I 0 off the table, off the machine bed and not the part. So let me pull this up. I'll move it over a little bit. Sounds like I need to put a little oil on this thing too. Okay. See if that's going to hit. Okay, so we'll come back to command and I'm going to hit the Pro button or PRB.
I like that you can just hit it with your finger instead of
Yeah, not having to fool with that silly stylus is a game changer for me. Okay. Pro tip, always remove that before you start the spindle. Okay, so now let me hit G0, X0, Y0. Okay, so there we are. Now we're going to make some chips.
Nice.
And I'm going to stick this, since I don't have anything made yet. And I'm going to put this back on before I start it up so that we will be able to talk through it. I think the program only runs for about a minute and a half, I think. All right, let me get a good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's do it. See what happens. We'll go over here to the file, hit start. And I don't know how many we got out there. Looks like we got about 19 folks watching. If there's anybody out there watching that has a NEMA Labs machine, go get yourself some Jenny bits from Cadence Manufacturing and Design. They're the best thing out there these days. Excellent. You're on the Johnny on the spot there, Ryan.
That's what you pay me for.
But this is a 3/8 V groove Jenny. I think is what this one's called. It's a 60-degree V groove bit, and it actually has some down shear to it, so it doesn't leave a bunch of fuzzies.
Yep. It's a fantastic bit.
Okay, let's carefully set that down here. We'll
That's not very loud at all. That does a good job. Good job on the enclosure, Dave.
Yeah, well, it has 0 insulation in it. It only has the insulating properties of crappy plywood. So, all right, let me bring this camera down in here. So I think you can see, even with this kind of rough, this is a cedar fence picket, what I had laying around. But that little Jenny bit, V groove Jenny, did a great job.
You got to move up a little bit, Dave. Can't see it. There you go.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay. But it did a great job doing that. And I can tell you, it's like when I said in that video I did last week, if you want to get more out of your little machine like this, get some good quality bits.
Mm-hmm.
Makes all the difference in the world. So, all right. So that is the newfangled controller. Whoa. And the buttons are a little touchy. So there we go. So I'll just set it like that.
I think you're going to need a second one.
I will. I will. Like I said, when I did the and by the way, I did these on my newfangled Creality Falcon 2 Pro 22 watt. That's a little beast of a laser. I like that thing. But I only made one of these because I thought, well, I didn't want to take that bracket off just yet because of the show tonight. But tomorrow I'll be taking it off and see if it fits. And I think I made this too tall or that angle too. So I don't think it's going to fit exactly the way I want it. It goes in best I can tell by taking it upside down and putting it in, but I don't think it's going to fit the way I want it to. And so I'll tweak this one, get that one, and then I'll be getting another one. But anyway, as I mentioned earlier, these things just became available on their website yesterday. Was the first I saw them.
Nice.
So let me get this back up here. There we go. So as you can see, they're $149 for the pre-order. I don't know what they're going to be after that, but if y'all don't already know this, I am kind of an affiliate for NEMA Lab, so I have they've worked out a very nice discount code for people who use my link to get stuff. So be sure if you do go purchase anything, make sure you take advantage of that discount. So anywho, that's
what's your code there, Dave?
It's hold on, it's in the video description, but I can probably grab it and put it in the chat here, I think. Let's see where it is. Well, I guess this will work. We'll see. We will see. I'm not sure if that link got all of it or not.
It doesn't look like it. Unless your discount is DAV ...
Let me go click on it and see. Oh yeah, it looks like, yeah, it works. That must be it.
Okay.
I think it's got the ... but it must just have truncated it or something. So it's clickable, Jerry says. Hey Jerry, how you doing? But yeah, and like I said, even if you don't have a NEMA Labs machine, but you have one of the smaller machines, and you know there's a million of them out there, and just about all of them use that CH340 chip in driver. So be sure and check that out if it'll work. You know, because it really make. I have, like I said, I've got that. What's it called? 3020 Pro Max sitting right here. It's only about like this big. You know, it's the bed slinger model with the, I forget how big that spindle is. It's not the little dinky one, but it's the little bigger one. 700 watt or something like that, maybe. I don't remember what it is. No, it's probably not even that big. Probably 300 watt or something. But anyway, I may just take it and set it on the table of one of these and try it out with that thing. But I'm pretty sure it will work.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a good looking screen.
All righty. Well, we have been at it here about an hour. Yeah, Jerry's got a Same Smart. So, and I'm pretty sure the way to check that, you would just go to your devices, right? Isn't that where you would go to check to see? Let's see if I can do it over here. And then if I can get it, I'll screen share it. I think if you go to Control Panel, Device Manager, I was thinking this is where it was, but I could be wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Firmware, Device Firmware. No, that's not it. I was thinking I've seen it someplace because it's like when you install that driver where you go to look to see if it's there. Yeah. Somebody smarter than me could probably see where it's at.
Yeah, you'll have to play around with it and see what else you can get it to go on.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it'll work with that 3020 and probably that Reno as well, because I think both of those use that chip. So, but yeah, it's going to make an awesome addition for these machines. I haven't really played around with it that much. They sent this to me a while back, but wanted me to kind of test it and kick the tires with it and stuff like that. But they didn't want it in a video, so because it's not in a video, I have to keep it out of sight so I don't accidentally put it in a video. But and I hadn't really used it that much, but I will say one thing about it though is if you are an inch person and like to go in inches, be very careful because right here it says times C. But if you go here, that says 1 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter, and 0.01 millimeter. So right now, if I try to move the Z up, so you can't even tell it's moving on camera. I'm sure you can't tell. I can tell because I hear it clicking. It's moving 0.1 millimeter, 0.01, excuse me, millimeter at a time. Now, if I change that to 0.1 millimeter, now and if you look at the Z, that's what I'm moving. You can see that that's what it's moving. It's moving 0.1 millimeter. Now, if I change this to 1 millimeter, now you can hear it. Now you can actually see it if you look close. So now it's moving 1 millimeter. And if you do times C, I believe that's 100. Now watch me smack it up in the top. Okay, no, it's 10 millimeter, I guess. It's but one thing you got to be careful of is if you run in an inch program, and you can tell because that G21 will now say G20, you got to be very careful because it doesn't like, it's still thinking millimeter moves, and when you're trying to do inches, it's real easy to think, oh well, I'm going to move it
10
1 inch, but it's moving way more than that. So you can bottom stuff out or smack it at the top or stuff like that. So just be a little leery of that. So it just takes a little getting used to know where you're at and what mode you're in. But anyway, that is what I wanted to show tonight because you're being a brand new thing, and I know there's I don't know if there's is there anybody out here watching that's got an Ema Labs? Let's see. I don't recognize any name. That's this looks like all old timers over here in the chat. But anyway, yeah, I just think this thing is going to be a game changer for not only having these awesome machines, but now having a really cool screen to use to run them, and still not have to drag out a laptop or a computer to use them. Now, of course, you guys can't really see. There's like, if I touch this panel here, I can touch this cart where I've got my computer set up. So I'd probably have to use a USB extension or something, which I do on the webcam. But I can easily plug into the NEMA Labs control box under there, and I could run UGS, Universal G-Code Sender, or I have G-Sender, which is probably my favorite of the Gerbil control softwares, I guess. That one, and I don't think I even have the latest version because I haven't updated in a while. But it is really nice to use that, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything, or at least it used to be. I guess it still is.
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure it's free. Just go to the CNC Labs website, and it's not CNC like it sounds. It's SIENCI or something like that. Labs, but they're the makers of the long mill. If you can't find it, you can just search long mill, and it'll take you to their website. But that is a really good. At least in my opinion, I think it's better than the UGS and some of the others. So, all righty. Well, we've been at it a little over an hour. I guess we'll get ready to get out of here. I hope everybody enjoyed this first little thing. I'm a little rusty at working stuff. And I know now, I obviously see when I come out here and test stuff, it's in the daytime. But now that it's gotten dark, I know I need more than this one little ring light right here because I'm still kind of in a shadow. I'm not worried about that because that's all lit up really bright in there. As long as you get the camera close enough, that really shows up good in there. But
yeah.
Anyway, let me get ready to sign us off here. And I appreciate everybody coming to check it out. Hope you enjoyed it, and probably going to try to do this every Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and see what what kind of response we get. I'm actually surprised we had this many people. I thought it'd be maybe 4 or 5 people, because I just posted the link yesterday, so there wasn't a lot of notice. But anyway, Ryan, thank you so much for helping me out, buddy.
Anytime.
You are the man. And don't forget to go check out his thing at, I'm going to do it again here, making it up as we go. Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Appreciate it.
My favorite podcast to watch on Saturday night.
There you go.
So, all right, let me see if I can remember how to hit the buttons to get out of here. And I think I got here we go. It's just like riding a bike, right? All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.